So if you watch this channel, I don't know how you could not know who Brandon Straka is, but just in case you're new, Brandon Straka is the founder of the Walkaway campaign. Walkaway is a group of former Democrats who have left the party. It is not necessarily about supporting Trump, though a lot of them do. It's more so about saying no to the political extremism, frankly, on both sides. We don't like political extremism on either side. We don't like crazy people on either end of the spectrum, but it is mostly Democrats who have walked away from the Democratic Party because, let's be honest, the Democratic Party is more crazy than the Republican Party. Anyway, I have been traveling around with Brandon for the last 5 months doing these Walkaway Rescue America rallies, also along with Shamika Michelle, Mikey Harlow, many other speakers that have come to do different rallies. It's been a great time, and it's awesome. Like, I genuinely love Walkaway. I genuinely love Brandon Straka. I think of him as a brother, as a family member. It's just he's one of the most real, authentic people in the world. He truly believes in what he's doing, and the more I do this, the more I'm finding out that is an absolute rarity. But the reason I'm talking about him right now is not to gush on him, but to talk about something funny that happened yesterday. Now, before we get into what specifically happened on Brandon's Instagram account, we have to just rewind a little bit. So yesterday, this crazy footage came out from Georgia that appears to show election workers in the dead of night pulling suitcases of ballots out from hidden places to count them when no one is watching. This story from the Epoch Times. President Donald Trump's legal team on December 3rd presented surveillance footage at a Georgia state legislature hearing that appears to show ballot counting workers telling poll observers late at night on election day to leave before continuing to count and pulling out what appears to be boxes filled with ballots. In the hearing on December 3rd, Jackie Pick, a lawyer who is volunteering with Trump's legal case, said the team received video footage from State Farm Arena's vote tabulation center in Fulton County, Georgia. The team said that GOP poll watchers weren't allowed to watch the counting process at the poll center. According to Pick, an unusual occurrence took place later in the evening around 10 p.m. local time. A woman described as a blonde woman with braids told workers to stop counting and notified everyone to go home. Describing the video footage, Pick says everyone clears out, including the Republican observers and the press, but 4 people stay behind and continue counting and tabulating well into the night. The 4 counted unobserved until about 1 a.m., according to the video. Pick says the video footage shows Fulton County election workers waiting on their scanning areas until GOP poll observers and reporters left the room before they started scanning ballots without any observation. And then in this tweet that they sent out, and this actually has the footage. I will link to this in the description below. You can go watch the footage for yourself. You should always, don't take my word for it. Don't take anyone else's word for it. Watch the footage for yourself and decide what you think. But they tweeted, footage of State Farm Arena in Atlanta shows that after poll monitors and media were told counting was done, 4 workers stayed behind to count ballots, at times pulling out suitcases containing ballots from underneath desks. Well, that all seems a little suspicious to me, and it seems especially suspicious if this tweet is correct. Now, this is like an anonymous person on Twitter, but they seem to have data here, so you know, take it for what it's worth. If this tweet is correct, this makes it even more suspicious. It says, bombshell Edison analysis: Biden takes 98% of a 23,487 vote batch at 12:18 a.m. Impossible. This analysis corresponds with the Georgia 98% for Biden sworn affidavits. Remember the pristine sheets, no creases, bubble selection perfectly made, and then directs you to the video. I will also link to this video below. So all this crazy information is coming out. And listen, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. I'm just an average person that's seeing hearings that are happening in Pennsylvania and Michigan and Georgia and Arizona and saying, there's a lot of people coming forward and talking about shady nonsense going on, especially when the media continues to assert that this was the most perfect election in the history of elections, there has never been a more perfect election. Listen, you have to decide which one you believe for yourself. But that brings me back to Brandon Straka's Instagram account, because if we go down to this post right here, this one right here, I think I'll tell everybody to go home because we're done working until 8 a.m., wait until everyone has left, then pull out my secret suitcases full of ballots from under a cloth table and start feverishly scanning for 2+ hours at 1 a.m. with my friends. I mean, what's weird about that? So he's making fun of this entire situation and how absolutely absurd it is. And Instagram put a fact check on it. Missing context. The same information was reviewed by independent fact checkers in another post. And if we click on that, it says, fact checker, lead stories. Brandon, by the way, did a whole live stream about this in which, like, how you have to watch. If you are not watching Brandon's live streams, they're legitimately some of my favorite things ever. Like, and he totally lays into them. But I'm going to do the same thing here just because, you know, the more people who know about this, the better. And our audiences don't always necessarily overlap. So this says missing context. More information, fact check, video from Georgia does not show suitcases filled with ballots suspiciously pulled from under a table. Poll watchers were not told to leave. And this is from Lead Stories. So literally what these people are doing is telling you, don't believe what you see in that video. Don't believe it. We know the video's right in front of you, but don't believe what you see with your own eyes. I'm not even joking about this. Let's actually click on that link. We'll go over to Lead Stories, obviously the bastion of credible journalism since no one's really ever heard of them, but okay. Does security camera video show a Fulton County, Georgia election supervisor suspiciously pulling suitcases filled with ballots from under a table after telling poll workers to leave the room? Well, obviously not, because they put a image of the video and slapped a big "not suspicious" banner over it. That's definitely credible. Did that election official continue to illegally count ballots without required monitors in a manner that calls into question Joe Biden's narrow win over Donald Trump in Florida? No, these claims are not true. Two high-level officials with Georgia's Secretary of State's office, high-level officials, not named, high-level officials, and a state elections board monitor each told Lead Stories that their investigations revealed nothing suspicious into the video. Well, if the Georgia Secretary of State's office says that nothing suspicious happened, then we should just believe them. After all, the Georgia Secretary of State's office are the ones that really don't think that there's much to talk about in this election at all and don't really care to do any investigative work or audits whatsoever. They think it's the best election in the history of elections. So we should definitely believe them when they tell us that, rather than watching the video that's right in front of our own flipping eyes. The officials said the ballots seen in the video were in regular ballot containers, not suitcases, and they have been removed from their envelopes and processed while news media and election observers for the Republican Party and Trump campaign were present. The media and party observers were never told to leave because counting was over for the night, but apparently they just followed workers who left once their job of opening envelopes was completed. The chief investigator for the Secretary of State, Georgia Secretary of State, told Lead Stories. The observers were free to return at any time. Georgia law allows observers, but does not require them for the ballots to be counted. And then they literally show the video and tell you, don't believe what you see in the video. So, guys, listen. I bring this up because, A, this is an absurd fact check. This is absurd. Watch the video for yourself. Take in evidence for yourself. Do I know exactly what was on that video? I wasn't there, man. Like, I don't know exactly if those were ballot containers or suitcases. They look like suitcases to me when I watch the video, but who knows? I could be wrong. It's not like the most close-up video in the world, so I can accept that. But this is crazy. This is literally crazy. Dude, just go watch the video. Go watch the video. And to do a fact check from a random website called Lead Stories, does this seem credible to anyone? I'm sorry, dude. I think that Brandon Straka is significantly more credible than Lead Stories. And also, I mean, he was being funny. They literally fact checked something that he posted to, like, mock the situation. This has gotten so out of control with Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all these places. YouTube, I'm sure this video is going to have a fact check on it. I'm positive it's probably going to get demonetized too, whatevs. But this is just absolutely absurd. All right, guys, I just wanted to share that with you because I thought it was funny. I thought it was the first thing I looked at this morning. Hey, so I'm taking an impromptu trip to Georgia because, speaking of Brandon Straka, I'm laying in bed last night and I was relishing in the fact that I was actually going to have a weekend. And I was like, oh, I don't really have much to do on Friday. It's going to be a nice, lazy weekend. I can relax. I can spend time with my husband and my dogs. I'm laying in bed, and around 10 o'clock last night, I get a text from Brandon. He's like, Carlin, how would you like a VIP ticket to the Trump rally in Georgia on Saturday? And I was like, oh. So I'm packing my stuff and going and hopping on a plane in a couple of hours to go to Georgia. And I will be there for the Trump rally. I will try to be posting videos and pictures, whatever I can. Apparently I'm gonna have like really good seats, so that's gonna be an awesome time. And yeah, dude, obviously I had to go. All right, guys, listen, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. I do almost everyday content around news, politics, culture, whatever I find interesting. So there's always going to be something new for you to see. Click that little red subscribe button down below. If you think you're subscribed, just double check it for me. That's all I've got for right now. I'll see you soon.